Today I'll be showing you a super simple mining and herbalism farm, so let's get into it. Alright, just like my last farm, this farm takes place in the Oharan Plains, and if you're interested in the windsong plumage farm that I did in the last video, I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. But for this one, obviously you will need mining and herbalism. You don't need any points in the skill tree really, but it does help mastering the elements if you gain this additional rousing essence right here, and if you have industrialization completely maxed out, you have chances to find some gems, which are not super expensive, but they do sell. They take a little bit longer to sell, but it all just adds up in the end. And on the herbalism side, it's basically the same thing. Except I don't have Bountiful Harvest or anything, I just have Mastering the Elements. So basically for this farm, what you want to do is follow the river right here, start at this lake, follow this river all the way down, around, and then you kind of make a jump right here. The river doesn't really connect, but you just jump across and then you follow it up. And you could go either direction, it doesn't really matter. And the river, if you take your time, it is long enough to respawn the herbs. But if you get to a point where you're doing it too fast, then just find some stuff in this middle section for a couple of minutes and then restart up at the top. And so what you want to do is fly around and you'll see the mining and herb nodes. And as you can see, I already have one right here. You can see the mine and herb nodes on your map. And you want to be looking for the ones that are frigid, windswept, and basically the ones that aren't just the regular name. And these that are not the regular name, they will give you essence and other materials as well. And it's a nice bonus because the essence and stuff is the real money maker. But if there's another ore like right this close, then I'll get this too real quick. Just because. And see, I got my gem from it. And as you can see, my bag is basically empty. This gem goes for 34 gold. And you basically want to just use your overload elemental herb and ore whenever it's ready. And it's a preference on which herb you want to use it on. I generally don't use it on Titan Touch because that's basically useless for me. It doesn't do much, in my opinion. It just opens a portal to another herb, which is pretty meh. Let me collect this real quick on these herbs that came off of the plant. And this is the frigid overload. There's a thing you attack and it drops these, which give rousing frost. And I actually didn't have my loot appraiser on, which is my bad. I always forget about that. But yeah, this farm doesn't make too much gold super fast, but it is real simple. And this is basically what I do whenever I queue up for keys, or it's like another thing I do. And you just fly around and you look for stuff that has essence on it. And yeah, I'll do this farm for about 10 minutes and I'll show you what I have. And sometimes you do have to veer out of the zone just a little bit. You don't have to stick completely to the river, but it's just a guide to follow. But apparently this is locked for some reason, this rock wall. But I just seen a... where is it? It was up here. Oh, here it is. I seen a Titan Touch herb in the ground. And I seen a rock wall right there. Which usually means it's inside the rock wall, but it's locked apparently. But anyway, sometimes if you see them in the rock wall, you sometimes have to dig through the rock wall, which takes a little bit of time, but it's whatever. And see right here, there's a windswept right over here. And as you can see, I'm not exactly on the river. What I typically do is I stick to one side or the other whenever I go around the river. And it just helps you have a wider area. And sometimes mobs will attack you, and it's annoying. Especially whenever you farm a windswept. thing and it knocks you into more mobs. But wherever the mobs give you, you can just vendor. They don't really sell too well on the market. And it's just a little bit of bonus gold. Alright, we are coming up on the 10-minute time. We just have a few seconds left. And as you can see, I didn't get a whole lot because there's another guy doing the farm with me. So he's probably despawning some of the ore and stuff. But you see, he dipped down for that bubble poppy. He made a mistake there. Unless he's actually farming for like the herbs. But if you look in your bags, the actual herbs literally go for silver. So do not farm the herbs just to farm the herbs. You need the essence that the elemental herbs give. And again, you can see the elemental herbs if you check your mini-map. And it will say molten, it will say hardened, it will say windswept. It will just have another name besides the actual ore. I did it for 10 minutes. I got about 1200 gold, which TSM can be a little off sometimes. I got 600 from Rousing Order. Rousing Order is really good, so if you find something Titan Touch, you definitely want to farm that every time. I am going to head back to the auction house and show you that everything sells. And like I said, I do this farm while I'm waiting for keys and stuff. So this 1200 gold adds up quick. And if there's nobody else out here farming, then you get all the herbs and ore to yourself. It's just whenever somebody else farms it, you have like a minute before it completely despawns. So he was probably farming some of them. Because there was a point whenever I was wondering why nothing was spawning. Because typically it's really reliable and a lot of herbs and stuff spawn. But he was probably on the other side of the river from me. And I was just getting to everything whenever it despawned, unfortunately. But yeah, we are arriving at the auction house and we can post everything up. Alright, as you can see, I have some leftover stuff from my bags I was farming last night. So just ignore that. It's roughly 300 gold. And this guy's enchanting or something right next to us, which can get annoying at times. And also another key thing you want to do is the essences. You want to see how much it goes for raw, like this. So 694. And then you want to combine them into awakened.
You would ask something
and see how much it goes for. 627, but we have 3 more right here. And that's another 100 gold. So we basically made roughly 100 gold by clicking 2 buttons. So we can post this up. And I will see you whenever I have everything posted. Alright, we just have a last little bit right here. This ride bark. And as you can see, stuff's already selling. So there's no problem with stuff selling. And 1700 gold, 800 has already sold. I had like 250, I said, I think. And so about 600 gold has sold so far, and I got 1800 coming in. So yeah. But as always, like I said, the gems right here do take a while. I may have sold one already, maybe, just luck. But you don't really do it for these gems, you do it for the essence and stuff. The gems are just a little bonus. So if they sell, they sell. If they don't, you can just vendor them for a little bit of gold. Alright, that was a simple mining and herbalism farm. You can kind of do passively in the Oharan Plains while you wait for keys or whatever. It's one of the many farms I do because I'm always running keys and I always like to make gold. But yeah, anyways, if you found it useful or you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.